immortality has to be one of the most pervasive concepts. It's found in all the cultures humans have ever existed in. From the earliest stories we know of, the Epic of Gilgamesh, where Gilgamesh, devastated by the death of his friend Enkidu, tries to find immortality, to Buddha being on the same quest, albeit in a different way. People to this day consider his quest noble and follow in his footsteps. Sun Wukong's quest also initially started as an attempt to cheat death and become immortal. Immortality and its pursuit are common among, if not all, then most human cultures, no matter how far removed from each other they are. These stories and their common elements tell us a lot about the human condition, since they have circulated for thousands of years and eventually made their way into the modern age, becoming immortalized themselves. This quest for immortality is something that we all feel deep in our very souls, and that is the reason these stories have survived for thousands of years, even through many ages of ignorance, where people couldn't even read, and writing was a luxury for the elite. Yet, the stories of the pursuit of immortality survived and transcended cultures. Almost every religion that exists also offers immortality. Some even offer it in its worst form as well as its best, in the form of heaven and hell. So it is only natural that what we have so far been unable to do, whether by finding a fountain of youth, eternal peaches, or a transcendent state of mind, we might now try to achieve through the one thing we are good at, technology. The idea of digital immortality is very appealing. The thought of finally creating a digital utopia and injecting ourselves into it sounds like the best thing that could happen to us. But that requires a lot of baseline assumptions to be true before we are ready to confront this question. In order for consciousness to be transferred, it assumes that consciousness is something different from the brain and independent of the physical and chemical processes happening inside it. But that assumption seems entirely false, because by altering the brain, we can alter states of consciousness. Damage to certain parts of the brain can make you forget the names of people, but still remember the names of tools and animals. Altering certain parts of the brain, either by trauma or injury, can make you conscious of only half of your perception, as in cases of spatial neglect. The same can happen with identity. If such fundamental aspects of consciousness, like perception, identity, and memory, are contingent on the brain and its functionality, and if emotions like fear, love, and hate are tied to specific regions of the brain, then how will they survive without a brain at all? Consciousness seems to be an emergent property, a result of the chemical reactions and environment of the brain. The illusion of self is just as much a deception as the illusion of free will. So, transferring consciousness without a brain seems impossible. What if they copy every cell, every atom of you, and simulate it inside a computer environment? Then, theoretically, it would have all the memories, experiences, and perceptions that you have, assuming it's not a philosophical zombie. But then again, will it be you? Even if it exists indefinitely, you will still be the person in that body, looking at that simulation while you live your life and experience death on your own. Even if that simulation of you is immortal, you will still be gone. Others might think it's you, treat it as you, and it will behave as if it's you, but you will be dead. So is that immortality? If leaving behind a copy counts as immortality, then DNA figured it out long ago. It exists in mutated, altered forms, each distinct from the other, but it continues replicating even as the original dies. The new one takes its place, but it's not the immortality we imagined. What we truly want isn't just for something like us to exist. We want ourselves to persist. And if digital immortality turns out to be nothing more than an illusion, a false promise, then is it even worth pursuing? Or is it just another deception, one that appeals to our deepest fears and desires while ultimately offering nothing but a comforting lie? But then again, perhaps we've been asking the wrong question all along. Instead of wondering whether digital immortality can preserve us, we should ask, does it even matter? If a digital continuation of yourself can think, feel, create, and evolve beyond what you were in life, then perhaps it doesn't need to be you to be meaningful. Maybe, just maybe, the pursuit of immortality was never really about individual survival, but about ensuring that something of us carries on, whether we are there to witness it or not.